I still remember the call, the weak signal, the hollow static between his words, and then his voice, calm but arrogant. "I used your college fund to pay off my loans. You didn't need it anyway." He said it like he was doing me a favor, like years of my savings, scholarships, and side jobs meant nothing. I was standing outside my flat in Berlin, suitcase still zipped, the world moving fast and cold around me. I didn't scream, I didn't argue. I just said, "Good luck with that," and hung up. He thought I meant the conversation, but I meant everything. My father always said I was his investment. Every good grade, every achievement, he wore them like medals. Not because he was proud, but because it made him look good. I played along, thinking one day I'd earn his respect. When Mom left, he told me she was too weak for responsibility. I believed him. I even stayed, helped him pay bills, skipped parties, worked weekends, because that's what you do for family, right? When I finally earned my scholarship to study overseas, he smiled like he'd won something. He told everyone it was his guidance that got me there. I didn't mind, I was just happy to be free. Freedom, I learned later, has a cost. It started small. He asked for help managing some papers. Then came requests for signatures, just for legal clarity. He said it was about property tax. I trusted him. Then I noticed my account balance wasn't matching my statements. When I called the bank, the woman on the other end hesitated before saying, "Your father made several withdrawals. Authorization was confirmed under his name." He'd been dipping into my college fund for months. By the time I found out, it was gone. Every cent. I replayed every moment in my head. His proud smile when I left, the forced warmth in his voice, the way he avoided eye contact the last time I visited home. He wasn't careless, he was calculated. So I became calculated too. I didn't confront him, I didn't tell a soul. Instead, I gathered everything, documents, statements, emails. He thought he was clever, using my fund to pay off his personal debts, taking advantage of shared accounts. But he left trails, digital fingerprints, paper trails, timestamps. And the house, the one he always bragged about paying off, half of it was legally mine. My name, buried in a clause he never bothered to read. So I started planning, quietly. I called my mother, the one he called too weak. Turns out, she wasn't weak, she was patient. She had her own story, her own wounds. We compared notes. Our stories matched too well. That's when I realized my father wasn't a bad man. He was a greedy one. And greedy men always think they're smarter than everyone else. I waited 6 months, long enough for him to believe I'd moved on. I sent him cheerful messages, photos from abroad, called him dad like nothing happened. He relaxed. That was the point. Meanwhile, I moved my assets, froze joint accounts, and filed a quiet report with the bank, fraud investigation under my name. The evidence spoke for itself. I also had my lawyer, Mom's friend, conveniently, initiate proceedings to reclaim my share of the house. Then, for the final touch, I sent him one last email, short, simple. Just to confirm, you received the bank notice? You might want to check your accounts. 2 days later, he called. His voice cracked. "They froze everything. What the hell did you do?" I kept my tone flat. I just made sure no one uses my money without permission again. He begged, then threatened, then broke. I said nothing. Silence is more powerful than shouting. When I finally flew home, he met me at the door. The same man who once towered over me looked small, shrunken, defeated. He asked, "Why did you do this to me?" I looked him straight in the eye. "I didn't. You did." He tried to argue, to spin it like I'd ruined him. But I'd already moved the property papers. The house was no longer his. The accounts were empty, debts restored in his name. Every move, every decision he made out of greed, I'd quietly reversed. His voice faded as he realized there was no coming back. No money, no assets, no control. Just truth, finally catching up. I didn't feel joy, not even anger, just stillness. As I walked out of the house that day, the same house I once helped him paint, the same porch I once stood on waiting for approval, I realized I didn't need revenge. I'd already reclaimed something far more valuable, my power. He called after me once more, his voice trembling. "I'm your father!" I stopped, turned halfway, and "I was your daughter. We're even now." Then I left. Not bitter, not broken, just free. He taught me how to play the game. I just learned how to win.